Hello ladies and gents, I hope you're well. Welcome back to another experiment video on FM21. Today we are taking Celtic and Rangers out of Scotland and putting them into England to see how they would perform in the Premier League. Well, that's a tiny bit of a lie. They're actually not in the Premier League to start off with. As you can see here, we'll put them into the Championship first. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this, to be fair. I know the real thing we want to see is how they would perform in the Premier League, but I didn't want to put them in there for them to get relegated straight away and then to make no progress at all. But not only that, hopefully they both will get promoted. They'll finish first and second. Their managers will buy a bit of time in the Premier League. And when you look at the season preview, they do dominate the best 11. Not completely, so I think that's interesting. They're not going to walk away with it, probably, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. On the key players list, there was a few other teams getting in here. I mean, Max Allen, Timmy Buendia, a couple of Bournemouth players, a couple of Watford players. I mean, they're not going to walk away with it in the Championship, I don't think. They are predicted to finish first and second. They've been relegated, apparently. Apparently, it's relegation. Anyway, we've put them into the Championship with the hope they get promoted to the Premier League and then do quite well, because they didn't really know who to take out of the Premier League anyway, so it's good that they're in the Championship. It can all happen quite naturally. Well, it's not natural because they're moving countries to... doesn't matter. Anyway, back to the video. You can see we are currently on the 24th of August 2020, where the Championship season is going to start. Celtic and Rangers, of course, have been added into it, both favourites to get promoted. And the idea is we sim this season and then 5 seasons after that, so 6 seasons in total, good maths, to give them 5 full years of being in the Premier League. I've simmed it all in advance. I have no idea what's actually happened. But before we get started, then let's jump in and have a look at the teams themselves. Celtic first, then. They are predicted to finish first in their first season in the Championship. Of course, never played in this league before. Key player, Odsonne Edouard. I mean, Football Manager legend, worth 55 million in the Championship. I imagine he's going to tear it up, but we'll have to wait and see. 22 years old, French striker, is signed a lot by quite a few people, has quite good potential on the game. And if you need a good striker, not a bad place to start, but you need quite a bit of dosh for someone valued at 55 million. Not something that many Championship clubs, if any, can probably compete with, but he is their star man. Of course, Captain Scott Brown, he's going to kick people to pieces in the Championship, probably will fit in quite well in a physical league like the Championship. And then, of course, manager Neil Lennon. It'll be interesting to see how far he gets with this Celtic side in the game. I imagine they'll storm the Championship. Oh wait, are they still in the Champions League? Oh, I haven't taken them out of the Champions. Are they in the Champions League here? Ah, okay, they are. Now, that is going to be a hectic schedule for them if they actually qualify for the Champions League here. I mean, it makes it more fun, I suppose. I've done it by accident. So they're actually through to the second qualifying round of the Champions League. They could be in the Champions League. If not, most probably, like in real life, the Europa League. God, imagine playing this many games. Wow, okay. Moving on then to look at Rangers. Steven Gerrard's Rangers. Maybe in the future he'll be managing in the Championship. Or maybe he'll just go straight through to Premier League management. I doubt he'll be in Scotland forever. But at the moment, doing a fantastic job over in Glasgow. I thought about doing an accent there, and you can see I've bottled it at the last moment. My accents are very bad, and it would have just offended a lot of people. So I'm glad I've decided against that. I have noticed they are also in a European competition, this time the Europa League, and I'm pretty sure they are straight into this, are they? No, so they've still got to play in a qualifying round as well, but they are probably going to be in the Europa League. So we could have 2 Championship sides, one in the Europa League, one in the Champions League, or maybe both in the Europa League. So both teams are going to be playing a hell of an amount of games, and it'll be interesting to see how that hampers their chances. I mean, you think with a season that is more compact than normal because of what's happening in the world, adding a European competition into a 46-game Championship season can't be good. Rangers' key player is Alfredo Morales. Seems to get sent off a lot, especially in FM, does get sent off a lot. Again, a very good player. To be fair, probably like very high-end Championship. I wouldn't put it past him to be playing in the Championship, to be fair. Of course, nowhere near the 55 million of Edouard, of course, at Celtic, but again, a very top player. James Tavernier, the captain, by the way, right back, scoring and assisting for fun in real life at the moment. Anyway, enough of this stalling it all. We want to see how they're going to get on in the Championship, or more notably, the Premier League, of course. If any of you have stuck around to watch this first intro bit and are going to see how they got on in the Championship, I salute you, because a lot of you guys would have you're already at the Premier League lot, aren't you? You're already there. 1st of June 2021, here we are then on the home page of me, because I am unemployed. A couple of things to note then before we jump into the Championship itself. You can see that Watford currently don't have a manager. Their manager has been sacked. Might be a sign to the fact that they haven't gone back up. One thing to bear in mind, same with Reading, to be fair. But does that mean Rangers and or Celtic have been promoted? Let's have a look then. Oh, okay, so Celtic have been promoted. They won in the playoff final against Bournemouth, 3-1 in the final. Can I look at this game? I can look at this game. Wow, 3 goals within 3 minutes for Celtic. 13th, 14th and 16th minute they scored. And then a late fight back from Aaron Connolly, is that? Now playing at Bournemouth. It is, okay. On loan from Brighton. He got a late goal to try and salvage something for the Cherries, but was unable to do it. Celtic beating them and getting to the Premier Premier League as we expected. But where did Rangers finish? Oh, wow. That must have been there when I just flicked over to it. Rangers won the league. Oh, that is mad. I did not even realise that Rangers won the league when first looking at that playoff final. They got 84 points, lost 10 games. It's quite a lot of games to lose, really, and still win the title. But fair play. Norwich finished in second and getting promoted. Love that. And Celtic finishing fourth and winning the playoff final against the third place Bournemouth. See, this was worth putting them in the Championship. I mean, they both got out of it as we predicted, but it wasn't all plain sailing, I don't think. Interestingly, neither of them had any of the top 3 scorers. Edouard getting in the average rating in third place, 7.21. No one in the top assists. No one in player of the matches. So I don't think they had any standout players. It'll be interesting to see if they played in any European competition. Looking at Rangers first. They did. They were in the Europa League as well. That's very impressive that they managed to win the title and be in the Europa League. It looks like they might have got knocked out in their group stage though. Can I have a look at the group? Yeah, okay. So they got knocked out. They only got 5 points from their group against Bayer Leverkusen, Galatasaray and Omonoia. I don't think I've ever heard of Omonoia from Cyprus. If we look at Celtic then, did they get to the Champions League? And if not, did they play in the Europa League? Let's have a look at their schedule now. They didn't. They lost in the third round of Champions League qualifying. I'm not going to attempt to say that name, but they lost to that team. Oh, wait, so did they get knocked out of the Europa League as well? They did. Okay, so both teams got knocked out at the same stage in the Europa League. I take it that probably had something to do with the amount of games they were playing. I bet their schedule was a mess, to be fair. I wonder whether they had a couple of Tuesday, Thursdays, which would have been horrible to navigate around. They got 7 points from their 6 games, so missed out by 3 points. Very hard group, to be fair. Very hard group. You wouldn't put that past being a Champions League group, to be fair. Napoli, Hoffenheim and Lille. So I'm pretty sure all of these signings here were made before we started this save. I'm pretty sure all of these went there in real life. I know Laxalt definitely is on there on loan. So I imagine all these ones before definitely happened before we started this save. Fossey Mensah, though, came in January. It's an interesting signing, to be fair. Played 24 times, scored twice, so all good for him. And they've let quite a few players go, to be fair, from Yusuf Malumbu and down. Not made a load of money, 2 million in total. No big names I can see really going out there. What about Rangers then? Did Rangers bring anyone in? It's interesting because I thought Celtic would have the stronger squad, you know. Zungu came in from Amiens, Martin Kelly on loan, and Samu, a free transfer. I have no idea who you are. Fairly average. Played 30 times, scored once. Happy days. And when it comes to people on the out, John Flanagan. I did not know John Flanagan even played for Rangers. Again, no massive names out, to be fair. But now they're both in the Premier League. It'll be interesting to see how they both strengthen, how much money they'll spend, and more importantly, how they will do in the best league in the world. Let's go find out. Back on the homepage, 2022 now, 1st of June again. Let's have a look at the Premier League then and see how both Celtic and Rangers have performed. Oh no. Okay, that's interesting then. Rangers have gone down. Wow, that league was so tight. Look at that. Rangers have gone down on 32 points. West Ham and Leeds above them on 33. And then Wolves on 34 above them, only just escaping the drop. And then Southampton on 36, only 3 points above the drop, sitting in 16th. So it was a very tight league, to be fair. But all teams gave a good account of themselves, even though they did get relegated in the end. Celtic sitting pretty in 12th place, 43 points on the board. Still only 10 points away from relegation, sitting 6 places above it. Celtic definitely the better performers this time round. I thought it would have been last season as well. But of course, Rangers won the title and they're going to have to do it all over again. I wonder, is Steven Gerrard's not there anymore? Marko Nikolic is still there. Marko Nikolic has taken over. We have a look at history and managers. When did they get rid of Steven Gerrard then? Before Christmas. So it wasn't going very well from the start, in fact. They tried to play a wild card and bring in Marko Nikolic. He could not save them from the drop. He was only in the job for 140 days in the end. Won 5 games, drew 5 games and lost 10. And he's going to have to be the man to try and bring them back to the Premier League. Did they sign anyone? Did they sell anyone? Let's have a look at their transfer history quickly. Oh wow, they were very busy this summer then. Spent 57 million. Brought in Tsimikas from Liverpool. Hendricks from PSV. I'm not sure I know who Hendricks is. Do I know who Hendricks is? I haven't come across Hendricks before. Looks fairly solid. Played 34 times in the league, scoring twice. Not too bad from a defensive midfielder type player. Not someone I'd probably buy. It'll be very good in the Championship next year. That's what I'd say from that signing. No one else that massive. Jed Steer coming in from Aston Villa. Not sure why I've picked that one out compared to all the ones here. Julian Chabot coming in for 8.5 million a defender. Not terrible again. Very slow though, 10 pace. I mean, Matt Hummels had 8, so I can't say much. But look at this on the outs, 33 million pounds they let go. Well, that's not even the thing to point out here. It's the amount of players they've let go. Look at all these players they've got now. Jermaine Defoe's gone. How did I not point that one out? Jermaine Defoe's left. That's where they've gone wrong, isn't it? They've let Jermaine Defoe go. What about Celtic then? Have Celtic brought anyone in? Neil Lennon is still there, so that's good to see. Different captain, Callum McGregor now captain, which suggests to me that maybe Scott Brown's been given the boot. What about about players in though. 57 million again. I thought I was looking at the same page then, but no, they've also spent 57 million, the same as Rangers. I don't know how to say it, but from Southampton, defender. To get him for 8 million, rising to 10 million. Yeah, I think they'll take that. No one else I really know on here. Solly March, of course, from Brighton. Jake Cooper, massive centre-back from Millwall. So maybe that's where it worked out for them. They've brought in some defensive stability, focused on being good defensively, and that has led them to finishing 12th in the table. If we look at the players they've sold, then again, letting go of a lot of players. Lee Griffiths has sadly had to leave to Montpellier. Good move for him, to be fair. Now, I thought Scott Brown might have left. Maybe he's just been stripped of the captaincy, which is surprising. Scott Brown is at Legia Warsaw and has torn his ankle ligaments. It's not gone well for Scott Brown. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Edouard's left. Edouard's gone to Leicester. Edouard's gone to Leicester for 24 million. How did Leicester get him for 24 million? That's a great deal for them. They've spread out their goals across the board. And as I said, again, I think they've just gone for being defensively solid because they haven't scored a bucket load of goals. Let's jump to season number 3 now, the second season in the Premier League. Well, at least for Celtic, not for Rangers, of course. And let's see how they get on there. 2023 it is then. Let's head to the Championship first and see how Rangers have done. I take it they've won it. Have they won it? Where is it? Holders Leeds. Okay, so Leeds have won it and gone back up. They weren't in the playoff final, Rangers. Again, no one in the top goal scorers or average ratings or assists or player of the matches. I mean, this isn't looking good for Rangers, is it? Let's head to the league table and have a look. Oh no, they're going to be in there for a second season or a second consecutive season. They finished third and lost in the playoffs. Leeds have gone up, then West Ham, who also came down with Rangers and Leeds. They finished second and got promoted, and then Watford won in the playoffs. So they lost to Nottingham Forest on penalties. That's a tough one to take, that. Marko Nikolic is still there. An interesting one. We never actually checked where Steven Gerrard has gone. Is he still about? Is he man? I can't spell his name. It's showing me anyway. He's a manager at Hull now. How did Hull get on? Just out of curiosity. Championship now, where do they finish? 20th. I mean, they survived. Let's have a look at the transfers out. Alfredo Morelos has traded in Glasgow for Seville. I mean, fair play, mate. He scored 10 goals in 32 appearances. They're going to get 45 million for him if all the clauses go through. Not a bad sale at all in the Championship. They were selling some players for big money, made 70 million. Philip Hollander going for nearly 15 million. Who else has gone for big money then? James Tavernier's gone as well. They've made some big money. Have they spent, though? They've spent 50 million near enough. Knockout's coming and gone again. Okay. They've made some very good signings here at Rangers. I'm surprised they haven't got promoted this time around. He only played 14 games. Kasper Schmeichel, I thought he'd be the number one. But I've just realised we've done this whole bit. We haven't even looked at the Premier League yet. We don't know if they'll be joined in the Championship by Celtic. Have Celtic been relegated? No, they haven't. They've finished 12th again for a second season in a row. Norwich, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, the 3 teams to get relegated. Another solid season from Celtic. Very consistent, holding their own in the Premier League. No one on any of the player rating stats around here, so no one's had an outstanding season for them as such. Key player Christopher Ajer, I mean, he's going to go strength to strength playing in the Premier League constantly. Wanted by Arsenal, Man City and Tottenham, so could get a lot of money from him fairly soon. Valued at £35 million now, the 25-year-old Norwegian. Very strong player, mentally outstanding. Calorie top scorer, 13 goals. I think, was he top scorer last season? I seem to remember saying his name last season, but maybe that's because they brought him in or something like that. Looking at their transfer history then, Neil Lennon is still there. Not a transfer, just thought I'd let you know. Miguel Almiron in. I mean, feels like a good sign. I mean, he's not very good. No. On the outs, though, they have got rid of £53 million worth of players. Got rid of a lot of players, a lot of maybe deadwood. Maybe they're having a bit of a clear out, ready to push for maybe European places in the Premier League. That would be mental. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for the end of the 2023 season. What's that now? 3 seasons in? 4 seasons in? I'm just going to go to the next season. Oh, okay then. 2024, the 31st of May. Available jobs, Celtic. Now, it does say they're in the Premier League. Don't know whether that means they will still be in the Premier League or maybe they've been relegated and sacked their manager. I don't really know whether that would have updated and said they would be in the Championship yet. Anyway, if you look to your left or your right, to be fair, it's on the screen twice, Rangers have been promoted to the Premier League. So let's click on Rangers first and see where they did finish. Can I not see the Championship and see? Bear with me. Everyone. So they beat Norwich in the playoffs. So again, didn't win the league. Where did they finish? 4th this time around. Bournemouth and Bristol City, the top 2 then. Only getting 76 points this time around from Rangers. Not great from them. They are back in the big time though in the Premier League. Kasper Schmeichel now playing a lot more games, getting the most player of the matches. I mean, I'm assuming that he's playing a lot more games, that he's won that. 23 goals from Moffey. Just seems to feel like they played a lot better this time around. And they have also got a new manager. And they haven't made it very easy for me, have they? Viktor Goncharenko is now the manager. Looking at their transfers, have they signed anyone big? Only spent 24 million this time around, so not loads compared to what we've seen recently. Viktor Kovalenko from Southampton. a solid Championship player, only played 7 times, to be fair. Came in January. Ben Davies joined from Tottenham. Bradley Dack from Aston Villa. Got rid of £47 million worth of players, though, so got a bit of money from a few sales. Tsimikas has now gone to Watford. They're getting rid of a lot of players. A very high player turnover in both of these teams, which is interesting. Let's head over to the Premier League then. I've just ticked up QPR instead of the leagues. That wasn't supposed to happen. Premier League. Celtic have been relegated. A couple of yo-yo clubs here. Interesting to see how often both teams are changing divisions here. Celtic had 2 very solid seasons in the Premier League. Have now been relegated. 31 points after 38 games. 2 points off safety in Watford. But they have been relegated. No wonder their manager has been sacked. How did they get on in general then? Amaron, who I said wasn't that good, was their most assists with 6 assists. Not many, is it, to be fair, for a Premier League team? When did they sack Neil Lennon then? I'll take it at the end of the season, maybe? 19th of May, yeah. So at the end of the season, when he couldn't keep them in the league, they gave him all the time, to be fair, all the time they could to try and keep him in the league. He couldn't do it in the 3rd time of asking. Had a very good tenure at Celtic, to be fair. Or, of course, one of those leagues in Scotland. But now when he's in England, he did quite well. Getting them promoted, of course, in the first place, and then keeping them in the Premier League for 2 years, and then couldn't do it this time around. Maybe a fresh face could help them get promoted from the Championship and battle again in the Premier League. It'll be interesting to see who comes in. Imagine if Steven Gerrard gets it. That's a good point. Where is my mate Steve? I mean, I'm not going to find him from just searching Steven, am I? It'd be amazing if I did. He's unemployed. It's not gone well for Steven Gerrard. Did Celtic bring in any big names, though? Are they going to have any big name players playing in the Championship? We know they brought in Almiron, of course, at the start of last season. Nuno Santos from Juventus, not bad. Clement Michelin, I don't really know who you are, but you've joined from Lennon. Christopher Ayer is now gone. They've brought in 102 million. I'd completely missed that. Christopher Ayer has now gone to Tottenham. I mean, deserves to be playing at a top Premier League side, to be fair. Ryan Christie's now gone, so they've lost some big players, so maybe not surprised that they've been relegated. Right, so now we've done a few seasons in a row. Let's skip to 2026, 2 seasons now, for one last check and hope that they're both in the Premier League. Hopefully they can end in the Premier League. 2026, the last year we're going to check then. This time around, the Celtic job and the Rangers job are both off the market once again. Let's go to the Championship first. So Rangers have finished 3rd in the Championship in 2026. So we were here in 2024 when they got promoted. They then finished 19th and came straight back down and couldn't get back up this time around. Moffey scoring a lot of goals then, by the way, 21 in this season. Pretty sure Celtic weren't in the Championship. So hopefully they are in the Premier League, and with a bit of luck they haven't been relegated, maybe? I mean, they haven't won it, which is very disappointing. Chelsea have won it. They've been relegated. So basically, all we've figured out is if Celtic and Rangers were in the English league system, they'd probably yo-yo between the Championship and the Premier League. That's all that's happened in this save anyway. Celtic coming back down, so they're going to be both in the same league, as I wanted to happen, but sadly they're both going to be in the Championship rather than both being in the Premier League. Anyway guys, I really hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below and make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. We're aiming for 500 subscribers by Christmas, and that'd be really amazing if you could help me out with that. It's been a very interesting experiment, and it was one I was kind of dubious to do because I didn't think much would happen, but to see them both yo-yo between the divisions, and how, as I said, they changed their managers, they signed players, they were both in European competitions in the first season. My bad, I'd take the flak for that. But really interesting to see how they both performed. If you want to see any more experiments, make sure you leave a comment down below on what experiments you want to see. I've got a couple of ideas lined up and ready to record. But if you want to see anything in particular, make sure you smash it in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another video.
Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last.